गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीमष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्बा त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीं। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथासम्बोधनाबोधितं लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारतपङ्कजं कलिमलप्रध्वंसि नः श्रेयसे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। गीताशास्त्रमिदं पुण्यं यः पठेत् प्रयतः पुमान् विष्णोः पदमवाप्नोति भयशोकविवर्जितः। गीताध्ययनशीलस्य प्राणायामपरस्य च नैव सन्ति हि पापानि पूर्वजन्मकृतानि च। मलनिर्मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानं दिने दिने सकृद्गीताम्भसि स्नानं संसारमलनाशनं। गीतासु गीता कर्तव्या किमन्यैः शास्त्रविस्तरैः या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्माद्विनिःसृता। भारतामृतसर्वस्वं विष्णोर्वक्त्राद्विनिःसृतं गीता गङ्गोदकं पीत्वा पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। एकं शास्त्रं देवकीपुत्रगीतमेको देवो देवकीपुत्र एव। एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा। शान्ताकारं भुजगशयनं पद्मनाभं सुरेशं विश्वाधारं गगनसदृशं मेघवर्णं शुभाङ्गं लक्ष्मीकान्तं कमलनयनं योगिभिर्ध्यानगम्यं वन्दे विष्णुं भवभयहरं सर्वलोकैकनाथं यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैर्गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। यदक्षरपदभ्रष्टं मात्राहीनं च यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देवनारायण नमोऽस्तु ते। कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। अस्तु। So we studied until the third shloka.
Yes, ma'am. 16th chapter.
So last time Toshali Bhagini and Surya Bhagini did not get a chance.
Yes.
So we'll first let them read. Toshali Bhagini?
Bhagini. Fourth
shloka.
Yeah. दम्भो दर्पोऽभिमानश्च क्रोधपारुष्यमेव च अज्ञानं चाभिजातस्य पार्थसम्पदमासुरीम्। दम्भः दर्पः अभिमानः च क्रोधः पारुष्यम् एव च अज्ञानं च अभिजातस्य पार्थ सम्पदम् आसुरीम्। दम्भः प्रथम एकवचन, दर्पः प्रथम एकवचन, अभिमानः प्रथम एकवचन, च अव्ययः, क्रोधः प्रथम एकवचन, पारुष्यं द्वितीय एकवचन, एव च बोथ अव्ययः, अज्ञानं द्वितीय एकवचन, च अव्ययः, अभिजातस्य षष्ठी एकवचन, पार्थ संबोधनं प्रथम एकवचन, संपदं द्वितीय एकवचन, आसुरीं द्वितीय एकवचन.
Parushyam also is Napumsakam, Prathama Ekavachanam only.
Which one? Parushya?
Parushyam. You said Dvitiya, that is also Prathama only.
Okay.
Ajnanam api Prathama eva labhavi.
Ajnanam also, yeah, Prathama Ekavachana.
Prathama
they
only.
both are Napumsakalinga.
Sampadam Asurim Dvayam
Dvitiya Vibhakti Ekavachana.
Ajnanam dvitiya prathama ekvachan.
Your voice is not clear, Bhagini.
Okay.
Now it is okay. So read the meaning.
दम्भः पदार्थः दम्भः धार्मिकतया आत्मनः ख्यापनं, पारुष्यं परुषवचनम्, आसुरीं राक्षसीं, संपदं विभवम्. अन्वयः पार्थ आसुरीं संपदम् अभिजातस्य दम्भः दर्पः अभिमानः च क्रोधः पारुष्यम् एव च भवन्ति. तात्पर्यं पार्थ आसुरीं संपदम् अभिलक्ष्य जातस्य पुरुषस्य वेशभूषादीना आत्मनः धार्मिकतया ख्यापनम् अहद्भारः
अहङ्कारः
ओके अहङ्कारः आत्मनि पूज्यत्वबुद्धिः कठोरवादित्वम् अविवेकः च इत्येते गुणाः भवन्ति. माध्वमतं दम्भः आत्माल्पत्वं ज्ञात्वापि महत्त्वप्रदर्शनं दर्पः सत्यपि भयकारणे मदात् तद्भावप्रदर्शनं व्याकरणम् असुराणाम् इयम् आसुरी ताम् इदमर्थे अण् स्त्रीत्वे च डीप्
So, in the previous three shlokas, we studied what are the qualities that one should have and what are the qualities that one should not have, right? There also we have the damaha and, certain qualities which should not be there. Amanitvam, krodhaha, asatyam, ahimsa. Like this, we came across certain qualities which one should not have. So basically here, so basically here, why one should not have those qualities? Those qualities are asura qualities. Only the asuras will have such qualities, or having such qualities will make one be considered as an asura. So asura svabhava. So basically, for us, they will show the asuras, the physical appearance also in a very frightful way. But one need not have such a frightful appearance on the outside to be an asura. Like Duryodhana, for example, he looks very very handsome, right? Duryodhana is a very handsome person, but he has all these qualities he has. So he is still considered as having asura qualities. So not always, somebody who is like a devata will have a beautiful appearance, and asura will have a very frightful appearance. That it has been shown that way in the Puranas and all, but not necessarily everybody will have that kind of physical appearance based on their qualities. Even a regular person who can look perfectly handsome can still have these qualities, but these qualities itself are considered as asura qualities. So who have these gunas are will develop that, and if we are not making any attempt to overcome these qualities, to change these qualities within us, if we are not trying to do that, then more and more we get attached to the worldly things, and again we will be born in the same cycle. So we have to recognize if we have any of such qualities and try to get rid of them, because it is very common for people to have these qualities for various reasons. Because of lack of self confidence, some people show this kind of this dambaha, for example. That is hypocrisy. Dambaha. Dambaha, how is it given here? Atmalpatvam jnatva api mahatva pradarshanam. So though they know that they are not great in something, they don't have that quality, still they project themselves as having that kind of quality. So they keep telling that they help so many people. Maybe they may or may not be helping, and even if they are helping, maybe they are expecting something in return. But the way they project themselves is as though they are helping out of selflessness. Like a best example will always be politicians, right? Though they are misusing the money, whatever little distribution they are doing, they are projecting as though they are doing it out of love for the people, though they have a bigger reason behind it. And the money that they are spending is also not theirs many times. So that is dambaha. And darpaha, arrogance. Here, how is it given? The meaning darpaha sati api bhayakarena madat tadabhava pradarshanam. So bhayakaranat, bhayakarane, madat. So they are afraid in the inside. They are afraid on the inside. Sati api means inside they have that fear. But madat, because of that arrogance, tad abhava pradarshanam. They show that they don't have that fear. Okay, fear of anything it can be. Fear of anything it can be. Say, for example, a person does not have much knowledge, but somehow he got into a job with some recommendation or whatever. But he doesn't want to tell, he doesn't want to share that he got this out of recommendation. So he will act as though he got it out of his own talent. So that kind of behavior is darpaha. Abhimanaha. Abhimanam, again, many times we take it a little differently. The Abhimanam. How does one take Abhimanam is? So they think it is a self-respect. It is a self-respect if you have not done anything wrong. And if you are subject to some kind of what do you call that? Mistreatment. Say, for example, Draupadi. So Draupadi was insulted in the court for no fault of hers. So she getting angry and doing something, angry put aside, whatever she plans to do, that is Abhimanam, right? In a positive way. But here, the Abhimanam here, how it is mentioned is, it is
Overconfidence.
Abhimanaha. No, the other day I was thinking about it and I got some idea how to project it. Sometimes for their own fault, if somebody asks them, so say for example, Duryodhana is there. Okay, he always did all the wrong things. But if somebody questioned him, he acts very in a self-defensive way, like as though he's protecting his own self-respect. That is what is given here, Abhimanaha. Okay, so here that is the Abhimanaha. So self-conceit means you are doing the wrong thing, but if somebody questions, you will again defend yourself and try to find fault with that person. So that is what is the meaning given here for this Abhimanaha.
Defending himself, that's it.
Defending himself for even after
Wrong
doing
thing.
something wrong. Defending yourself for no fault of yours is okay. That is fine. You have to defend yourself sometimes when when you are found at fault for no reason. That we have to do, like how Sita did Agni Pariksha, though it was not her fault, she did not do anything wrong, but sometimes when the situation demands, you have to prove yourself. That is one thing, that is defending ourselves for a valid reason. For a valid reason. But here, these people are defending themselves being on the wrong side. He is following adharma, but he is still trying to justify his actions by saying all sorts of things which are not true. So that is Abhimanaha. And then Krodaha. Krodaha, you all know. Parushyam. Parushyam is can be either through Vak or through actions. Vak Parushyam and even through actions. Any kind of very rude way of hurting others. Okay, like Duryodhana again is the best example for this. He's always finding fault with everybody. With Krishna, with Pandavas, with Bhishma also, he says, you are always Pandava Pakshapati, you never support us. Like that he says Bhishma, he says even Drona, you are always in favor of Arjuna. So he finds fault with everybody. With everybody except his own brothers and Shakuni, and his father maybe. With everybody else, he has he blames, right, through his vak. So that is parushyam. That is parushyam, vak parushyam. So we should not be harsh with our vak. So whenever we realize that we are being harsh with our words, we have to remember that that is not the quality, a sattvika guna. it is a Asuri Guna. So we have to try and identify every time these gunas are coming out, we have to identify them and find the root cause of why we are getting such kind of emotions, and then try to rectify it. Like this, we discussed even in the last class. So, because the manas keeps going everywhere, and we are in this not completely reached the state of Paramatma Tattva Jnanam, that stability, to reach that stability, this daily abhyasam is needed. So, knowingly or unknowingly, we keep doing we keep experiencing these gunas now and then. So, since we are still in the abhyasam stage, it is okay, but that progress should be there. So, that is the reason why we have to write down things, or if we have a good memory, that is also fine. How I was 6 months ago, how am I now? What are the things I was reacting back then? Now, for such small things, we can categorize things at different levels, like things that really don't matter at all. Sometimes we get upset on those also. So first we can try and work on such things. Very simple things. For there is no need to even be upset on such things. Such things we have to first start identifying and work on that. Like that, 6 months, every 6 months, if we keep checking our progress, slowly there will be a time where we will overcome most of these gunas, so that the Daivim Sampada will develop in us and the Asurim Sampada will be gone. So then what is the purpose of this? In our next life, we will have a better life. Now also we will have, immediately after you start working on ourselves, within few months, we will see the change. We will see how people around us will behave with us. We will see how our thinking also changes, how we are more at peace. We immediate benefits also we will see. But the long-term benefits are, in the next life also, we will have always a better life. And because of practicing this, we will be able to let go of the attachments, and the less number of attachments you have in this life, when you are moving into the next sharira, the jivatma, if it is carrying less load, then it will be a lot easier to move forward even in that life. And our association with the sattvika gunas will be more. So we will, so that will be carried into the next life, because we are still connected to that, those gunas. So they will be carried on, and we again, that association with people also, we will, because that is what we have been carrying when the jivatma is leaving the sharira. It will be carried into that next sharira, where we will again have such associations only, all the Sattvika associations only, because that is what we have been carrying. If we carry anger within us on somebody, even at the time of leaving the body, if that anger is still there within us, and we have not worked on it, and we have not let go of that anger, then obviously you will have an association with that same person in your next life also. That is how we will have all these, that is how they will, because you have not worked on it. It is not resolved. Everything that is not resolved will come back to you, whether good or bad. Good also will come back, bad also will come back. Good coming back is okay, because that will only be a pleasant experience. But the bad coming back will again start giving you difficult times. That is what I kept saying. Any family member or friend or neighbor or somebody closely associated with you, if they are giving you hard time, if you think they are giving you hard time, that is the guna that you have not worked on. Say, for example, they always make you get angry. Means you have not worked on your anger. That is why they come back. Somebody, they will come back to make you work on your anger. Until you realize that and work on it and overcome it, somebody will be coming back to make you angry. Because only if they make you angry, you will get a chance to work on it. How not to get angry. Only when you are in the water, you can swim. Sitting on the shore, no matter how much you think about how to swim, it is different. Only after you get into the water, you will know whether you are able to swim or not. Being on the shore, we can tell I will move my hands, I will move my feet, I will move my legs this way, that way. No matter how much you keep telling yourself, the actual whether you have mastered it or not will be proven only when you are in the water. That practice happens only when you are in the water. Initially, you will struggle. Slowly, that you will be able to swim. Similarly, if we want to overcome any guna, we have to be in that situation. Only then we will be able to work on it. But we have to remember that, remind ourselves. So if somebody makes us angry, at that time we should not get carried away carried away with that anger and react angrily and go into a different situation. No. The minute we feel that we are getting angry, we should pause. Okay, I am getting angry. This person did this. I am getting angry. But I want to work on my anger. Until I work on my anger, such situations will keep coming back to me. Only if I overcome this completely, then I see, once you pass your first class, the second class syllabus will come. First class syllabus, you don't have to give your exam again because you have already passed that. Similarly, here also, once we overcome that, we will be resolved. That issue will be resolved. No longer we will come across people who make us angry. Whatever is left, that will come. That will come. So all these gunas, whatever we are nurturing, will keep coming back. Once we overcome them all, then we will reach a point where nothing will bother us. Even though somebody behaves, no matter how they behave, we will not get angry. No matter what they say, we won't get hurt. No matter what they say, that will not put us in a depression state or whatever. Right? So that is only nothing but sthita prajnata. Right? No matter what kind of situation you are thrown into, your mind is at peace. It always need not be other people. Sometimes the situations happen. You work hard, but you don't get the result. Like a farmer sows the seeds, but for whatever reason, the crop did not come as much as he expected. So it is nobody's fault. It is not always people who come back like this. Sometimes even the situations. So we should, what is the principle? We should learn not to expect anything. We have to do diligently our duty, and whatever result is given, we have to work with it again. Of course, sometimes that will be very difficult because a farmer whose livelihood is dependent only on his crop, if he doesn't get his crop, then he has to feed his family. So that is a difficult situation for him. So how not to react? There also he has to find an alternative, find some other work or whatever it is, rather than simply getting depressed. So one has to understand that that difficult situation, how to overcome that difficult situation, how to overcome hunger. Everything we have to take at a calm level. Okay, this happens. That is fine. I have done something, and as a result of that, I am experiencing this. So let me just be strong, because it is not going to be a permanent thing. Once I overcome this, it will be gone. That kind of thinking we should develop no matter what kind of situation we are. Otherwise, if we get worried and scared and depressed about it, again we will be carrying it into our next life. That is when sometimes I feel, this is again my personal opinion, some people stock up things more than needed. Normally, like normally people say, for example, in a normal average, or most of the people normally stack up for 6 months, say for example. Okay, some people stack up for 3 years. Why? Because in their previous life they have suffered that poverty so much that it has scarred them to the point where when they get an opportunity, that thing is still there somewhere in their subconscious mind. So they will keep stacking up things out of that fear. They don't know that. They simply stack up things. But it is unusual for somebody. Like 6 months or 1 year is something common. 1 year also, why? Because the farmers, they harvest the crop, and again until the next harvest they don't have, so they will save it up until the next harvest. That is how that 1 year came into practice, storing up things until 1 year. But nobody will store it for 3 years, right? Even though you are going to get your crop again next year, why will they be saving up to 3 years? If somebody does that, what it means is they are carrying something subconsciously, something that scarred them to the point where they are doing that. So that is one thing. Like how the fear is there. For no reason, some people are very much afraid of dogs and cats and cockroaches and lizards. Everybody is a little bit afraid, but some people are like, they don't even enter the house if they see one cockroach. Like that kind of fear. That is unusual. It is unusual means they are carrying something, either from this life or the previous. If there is an example from this life, then we can connect it to that. If not, there must have been from the previous. So like that, everything, these are the things which are unresolved. The good things will be like abhyasam, whatever abhyasam that you are doing related to your spiritual journey. It can be sangeetam, it can be nrityam, it can be anything that is spiritual learning of the shastras, whatever you carry while you are leaving the sharira, that will be passed on. So they are carrying it into their next life. So they are picking it up from there. This also we have discussed several times. So these are the qualities which we should be aware of and try to get rid of. And then ajnanam. The next one is ajnanam. Ajnanam is the reason of all the above also. In that way also we can look at it. Because once you understand the significance of a durguna and suguna, you will not develop those. Only because one is ignorant of that, they are continuing to have nurture that guna. Now, if somebody knows that with vakparushyam you are accumulating so much of sin, will they continue doing it? If they really knew what is what kind of consequences they are going to face by doing this, will they continue doing that? No, they won't. If they really realize the consequences, nobody will do that. So why are they doing? Because they don't know. That is only ajnanam. So ajnanam is the reason for all the above durgunas. The dambaha, darpaha, abhimanaha, krodaha. Many people don't know, right? The krodaha. So they think they are, so somebody did some harm to them. So they carry anger within them on that person. If we ask them to leave the anger, they are like, why should I let go of that anger? They did that to me. That is why I am carrying this anger. So they think that they are punishing the other person, but by carrying the anger. But what they don't realize is that other person is not affected by their anger. Only they themselves are being affected, because holding on to anger is a lot of stress on the body. There is so much of chemical reaction goes on within your body if you are carrying any kind of these negative emotions. So ultimately, it is that person who is carrying those negative feelings, whether it is anger or jealous or greediness, all these will only generate harmful chemicals in your body. So they cannot be at peace. So it will slowly, their health will start deteriorating. So they don't know that. They don't know that. They think they are doing themselves some justice by holding on to that anger on the other side. They think by letting go, they are actually, it is benefiting that other person. But no, we are the ones who benefit. They will be themselves only. Whether you forgive or you don't forgive, they will be like that only. But if we forgive and let go, we will be the ones who are free. Our mind will be free. We can focus on what we want. So that also we all must have experienced at one point or the other. We get upset the whole day, we can't do anything. All our time will be wasted. Otherwise, if we work on it for a few minutes, okay, let me let go of this. That is not going to do any good to me. I did not do anything wrong. If they have done wrong, why should I spoil my day? So let me, let go of this. And for a few minutes, if you talk to yourself like that, and with the effort, if you let it go, the rest of the day, maybe it will take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or half an hour. But after that, you will be free and you can continue with your work. But if you keep thinking only about that, see, that person did like this, how can he do like this? All this, if we start thinking, our whole day is gone. So whom are we benefiting? Ourselves. That is jnanam. And if we don't understand that, it is ajnanam. And with ajnanam, we are ruining only ourselves. So abhijatasya means to that one who is born, sampadam asurim. So this asurim sampadam, all these who are carrying all these durgunas, it will become the asuri sampada. Okay?
Okay, very nice explanation.
Yeah. So Anantaram Surya Bhagini.
नमस्ते महोदय। नमस्ते।
Namaste.
दैवी सम्पद्विमोक्षाय निबन्धाय सुरीमता मासु च सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातोऽसि पाण्डव। दैवी दैवी అంటే ఏం విభక్తి ఏం కాదు కదా?
దైవీం అంటే మన తద్దిత్తాంతం అనొచ్చు. తద్దిత్తాంత పదం కింద కన్సిడర్ చేయొచ్చు.
సంపత్ విమోక్షాయ, సంపత్ ప్రథమ ఏకవచనం, విమోక్షాయ విమోక్షాయ చతుర్థి ఏకవచనం, నిబంధాయ ఆసురి
చతుర్థి ఏకవచనం, అది కూడా
చతుర్థి ఏకవచనం. మత ఇది ప్రథమ తృతీయ కదా?
ఆసురీ మత.
ఆసురి మత. మత అంటే ప్రథమ ఏకవచనం. ఆసురి మత. మా అవ్యయం. శుచః ప్రథమ ఏకవచనం, సంపదం ద్వితీయ ఏకవచనం, దైవీం ఇది కూడా దైవీం ఇది కూడా ద్వితీయ ఏకవచనం, అభిజాతః ప్రథమ ఏకవచనం, అసి ఇది సప్తమే కదా?
అసి క్రియాపదం, లట్లకార మధ్యమ పురుష ఏకవచనం.
అసి మధ్యమ పురుష ఏకవచనం. పాండవ సంబోధన ప్రథమ. పదార్థः విమోక్షాయ బంధనాశాయ నిబంధాయ సంసారాయ మత అభీష్ట మా శుచః శోకం మా కార్షీః దైవీం దివ్యాం సంపదం సంపత్తిం అభిజాతః అభిముఖీభూయ సముత్పన్నః. అన్వయః పాండవ దైవీ సంపత్ విమోక్షాయ ఆసురీ నిబంధాయ మత మా శుచః దైవీం సంపదం అభిజాతః అసి. తాత్పర్యం దైవీ సంపత్తు సంసార రూపం బంధనం నాశయతి, ఆసురీ తు తదేవ బంధనం జనయతి. త్వం శోకం మా కార్షి. అభయసత్వ సంశుద్ధి ప్రభృతయః గుణాః యథా సంభవతి తథా ఉత్పన్నోऽసి. కార్షి అంటే కార్పణ్యం అన్నట్టు వస్తుందా? కార్షి అంటే
కార్షి చేయొద్దు అన్నట్టు, మధ్యమ పురుష.
శోకం మా కురు, దుఃఖం మా భవతు.
అసి క్రియాపదం.
also Kriya Padam, Bigni.
Huh?
Shuchaha, Ma Shuchaha.
Ma
Kriyapadam.
shuchaha.
Kriyapadam.
Oh.
Ma avyayam shuchaha. सर्वधर्मान् परित्यज्य मामेकं शरणं व्रज तत्रापि मा शुचः इति आगच्छति मध्यमपुरुष रूपं शुच् धातु
Shuch dhatu. Actually, let me see. It is shuch. Shuch is the pratipadikam. Shuchaha.
Lung.
No, this is.
Ashapre.
Ante he who is suffering laga. He who suffers is shuchaha. Ma shuchaha. You don't become
that
somebody
way
who is suffering.
sure शोक संपन्नः
సంపత్ కర్తృపదం అవుతుందమ్మా కదా సంపత్ కర్తృపదం అవుతుందమ్మా
సంపత్తు
సంపత్తు సంపదం కూడా
టకారాంత శబ్దం కదా సంపత్
प्रथमा एव दैवी सम्पत् प्रथमा
स्त्रीलिंग प्रथमा एकवचनम दैवी also स्त्रीलिंग प्रथमा एकवचनम So the Asuri Sampat will make you bind. It will bind you to the world. Whereas Daivi Sampat will make you free. Vimokshaya. Abhijataha.
దైవీ సంపత్ అంటే ఇక్కడ సత్వగుణం అని చెప్పొచ్చు
Ante. Daivi Sampat means all the sattva gunas, where you are not attached, where you don't have all these durgunas, where you are on the spiritual path where that abhyasa is going on. You may or may not have obtained completely the jnanam, but if you are working towards that, still you will be acquiring the Daivi Sampat. And you are on the path to the moksha. So this is a constant, like the journey itself is so long. So always we have to keep on check whether we are on the right path or on the wrong path. And eventually that path will lead us to moksha. Whereas this one will throw us into this cycle. And in that cycle again, if these qualities are nurtured, the durgunas, if they are nurtured, what will happen? Sometimes you may even lose the human birth, and you will be born as an animal or even lower lives. And again you have to climb up. So that constant cycle will be there. So regarding that, there are many stories in our Puranas. All those stories are to imply the same, to explain. Because many times the Shastras cannot be understood directly by a common person. The Puranas came into existence based on these concepts only. The stories, because nobody can understand the Upanishads directly, right? Even if a guru explains also, being able to understand at that level, a common man may not be able to understand. So that is the reason why the Puranas come into existence. And in the Puranas, how they are projected, the same story will be projected a little differently. Because many times if we talk about all this, people cannot relate to it. So you don't get angry. If you get angry, it is harmful to your body. Some chemical change will happen. Because of that, you will experience health issues. All that if you tell, nobody will listen. They won't even understand what you're talking. They will think that you are crazy. So instead of that, if we tell, Krodaha is a Durguna. If you carry it, you will get papam. If you leave it, you will get punyam. As simple as that. If we keep, if we tell that, then people will immediately connect to it. Okay, every Friday you clean your home and read this stotram, then Lakshmi Devi will come into your house. If you tell that only, they will do. But why that is told? If you clean your house and light a lamp and eat satvika food that whole day and listen to some stotras or recite some stotras, what will happen? First, our mind will be cleared. Our mind will be calmed. With a calm mind, whatever you do, it will give very good result. Whether you are cooking or doing any kind of work, you are guiding your children or taking care of somebody, whatever you do, you will do your best with a calm mind. That itself is prosperity. Prosperity need not always be in the form of money. That happiness. Nothing, no matter how much money you have, some people cannot be happy. Why? Because they are carrying other weight. But some people, though they don't have that much money, they are always happy. So what do you consider as prosperity here? People who are happy with what they have and who are leading a very loving life with their family. That is prosperity. So prosperity need not always be in the form of money or gold. But many people think that. They always think that. They like to think of it like that only. No matter how much you explain, you cannot convince them. So what did our Maharshis do? To make them follow the right path, you have to go down to their level. There is no other way. Because they are not able to come up, we have to go down to their level. You read this stotra every Friday. After 30 Fridays, you will be blessed. Okay, if you read once, you will get this. If you read that Falastuti is there, no? That also is only for people who are unable to understand at a philosophical level. Because philosophy is not easy for people to understand. Very few people will understand. And who are those few people? The people who have done some kind of sadhana. But majority of the people are still not at that level of sadhana. But we want them to get there. So how do you bring them initially? A small child in LKG, if you tell her about becoming a doctor and why should she study now to become an engineer or a doctor or something else, what will she understand? You do your homework now, tomorrow you will become a doctor. If you tell that, she won't understand. I will give you a chocolate if you finish your homework. That she will connect very well with. Because at that age, you cannot expect them to understand more than that. So for that age, we will do that only. A mother or father, they will try to give that child whatever they like, taking to a park or to a movie or TV time or a favorite dish for dinner or a chocolate or a biscuit or a toy or whatever that pleases them, they will promise if they do. But will they do the same thing after that child comes to intermediate? Still, will they say, I will give you a chocolate, you do? Will the child do? No. By then, the child should have realized the importance of education. If he hasn't, there is nothing the parents can do. Because by now, even he knows that chocolate is not enough for him to do that homework. So that won't work anyways. But by then, at least he should have realized the importance. That is the hope that the parents will have. Initially, to put him on the path of education, they will bribe them with the small things. So once they understand the importance by a certain age, hopefully they wish that they will understand the importance. Once they understand, they will pick it up from there. The parents no longer need to, bribe the child. the child will understand the importance. He's matured enough. They will understand and go on. Similarly, our rishis also, they wrote all these stotras, and at the end, the Phalastuti, to bring a very layman to make them read, or make them read in the sense to for their mind to be calm. Reading of these is necessary because the Sanskrit recitation of anything in Sanskrit will stimulate certain nerves in your body, and because of that, that vibrations happen, and we will reach that state of calmness. That is the reason why when we hear of any stotras, automatically that calm atmosphere will be there. But whereas if you hear all these other sounds where there is no rhythm or there is no proper modulation and all, it will give you headache. Why? Both are sounds only. Why this sound is causing a calming effect and why that other sound is causing a headache? Because there is something in those sounds that is calming your brain, that frequency and all that. That vibration, it will cause some vibration. Even the Omkara, why many people after reciting the Omkara, they feel different, right? So like that, the Maharshis, to make everybody recite the stotras, maintain that serenity in the environment that they are living, which is their house. Once in a while, they bring up these occasions and say, on this particular day, if you do this, then you will get this. If you don't do, then you will be accruing papam. Like that, they tell, so that for the layman, they will do for that result, because they want that result. They are right now connected to that result, like how a child is connected to the chocolate. And as they do and do and do, eventually they will understand that the benefit of doing it. And though they know that whatever they are expecting, that monetary or materialistic thing is no longer important, I am receiving something more important than this materialistic thing. That by then, if they realize, they will move on. Some people may not realize because they might not have done the abhyasa enough. So they will take a few more lives to achieve that. But the ultimate goal, and again, so many factors are there, right? We all know that it is not just by recitation one cannot achieve anything. There are so many other factors. So if all comes together, then they will move on. Otherwise, they will stay. But at least we have to make an effort. And to make that effort, our Maharshis have written all this. But you try and explain this to a common person, they won't understand, they won't agree. So that is why Sri Krishna also tells us, don't preach my teachings to somebody who is not ready. That is exactly why he says that, because it will leave them even in a much more confusion state. So for people who are not ready, let them read those stotras, thinking that itself will bring them prosperity, materialistic prosperity. Let them think that there is no harm. A child working or doing their homework for a chocolate is nothing wrong for his age. For that child's age, completing the homework for a chocolate. They are not completing the homework because they want some knowledge. They don't care. They just do the homework, I will get a chocolate. That is all they care at that level. Because at that level, that is what you can expect from them. That's all. Very few children of that age will understand the importance of education, maybe. Put them aside, but averagely, all the children of that age will only work for such things. That is fine. Let them do it. There is nothing wrong. Similarly, even with adults who are reading the stotras or doing whatever puja or rituals for materialistic benefits, let them do, because that is the kind of understanding they have at this point of time. But if you feel that they are ready to understand, then we can tell them a little bit. With a small few conversations, we will understand where they are. Accordingly, we can continue explaining further or just letting them be where they are. Within our family, I'm saying, like whenever you come across people, when you observe that somebody is keen on knowing more, we can talk to them a little bit more. If we feel that they are not ready for it, then we can just let it be. Whatever they say, we just nod our head and yeah, let them be happy doing what they are doing. Because if we start discussion and try to explain things, it will leave them only confused. So that is the reason why even Paramatma says that when they are not ready for it, you don't tell them. Okay, leave them. So that is the reason why. Because it will only leave them more confused. So here also, what is Paramatma saying? Pandava Daivi Sampat Vimokshaya Asuri Nibandhaya Mata. So you understand that Daivi Sampat is moksha, for moksha. And Asuri Sampat is for Nibandhaya, means you will be bound to the materialistic world and you will carry that into your next life. Ma Shuchaha Daivim Sampadam Abhijataha Asi. So Ma Shuchaha means you don't become somebody who is in sorrow, because you are again with the sorrow, you are binding yourself to this world. Why are you sad? Because you are having all these attachments with your family. Are, I am killing my own grandfather, I am killing my own guru, I am killing my own, I am performing war with my own family and friends. That is why you are sad. Why? Because you are thinking all these relationships and everything is sat. But no, this is all asat. So, ma shuchaha, don't be that person who is sad. Daivim sampadam abhijataha asi. So, acquire the daivim sampada and be somebody who has acquired that. Abhijataha asi. Okay? Next one. Savitri Bhagini.
Yes. Dvau bhuta sargau lokesmin daiva asura evacha. Daivo vistarashah prokta asuram partha me shrunu. Dvau bhuta sargau loke asmin daivah asuraha eva cha. Daivah vistarashah prokta asuram partha me shrunu. Dvau प्रथमा विभक्ति द्विवचन भूत सर्गौ प्रथमा विभक्ति द्विवचन लोके सप्तमी विभक्ति एकवचन अस्मिन् सप्तमी विभक्ति एकवचन दैवः प्रथमा विभक्ति एकवचन आसुरः प्रथमा एकवचन एव च अव्यय दैवः प्रथमा एकवचन विस्तरशः अव्यय प्रोक्ता प्रा उपसर्गः वच् धातु ता प्रत्यय आसुरं द्वितीया विभक्ति एकवचन पार्थ संबोधना प्रथमा विभक्ति मे मम षष्ठी विभक्ति एकवचन शृणु शृणु
मध्यम पुरुष ekavachana lot lakara.
मध्यम लोट लकार.
And may is panchami actually here, not shashti.
Okay, panchami.
It ante normally it panchami and shashti both rupams are the same, but here from me. Listen to this from me.
Okay. Okay. पदार्थः भूतसर्गौ मनुष्य सृष्टि दैवः दिव्यः आसुरः राक्षससम्बन्धी. अन्वयः पार्थ अस्मिन् लोके दैवः आसुरः एव च इति द्वौ भूतसर्गौ. दैवः विस्तरशः प्रोक्तः आसुरं मे शृणु. तात्पर्य अर्जुन एतस्मिन् लोके दैवगुणसम्पन्नः राक्षसगुणसम्पन्नः च द्विविधौ मनुष्यौ स्तः. तयोः दैवगुण सम्पन्नस्य मनुष्यस्य अमानित्वादम्भित्वादिना त्रयोदशे अध्याये गुणातीतत्वेन चतुर्दशे निर्माण मोह मोहात्वदीनां च पञ्चदशे निरूपणं कृतम् आसुरगुणसम्पन्नस्य तु निरूपणम् इदानीं क्रियते शृणु व्याकरणं भूतानां सर्गौ भूतसर्गौ षष्ठी तत्पुरुषः आसुराणाम् अयम् आसुरः इदमर्थे अण् देवानाम् अयं दैवः इदमर्थे अण् तावदेव।
So here again, Paramatma is telling that in this world there are two types of beings. Dvau bhuta sargau loke asmin. Daivaha, one is Daivaha, the other one is Asuraha. Evacha. Daivaha vistarashaha proktaha. I have already told you about the Daivi Sampat, the qualities of the the good people, like the devatas or the divine people. Asuram partha me shrunu. Now I will tell you about the asuri sampat gunas, or people who have such gunas, and you listen from me. Okay?
Yes.
Bhuta sargau means the types of beings. Bhutani means a living thing, right? A living being. So two kinds of the living beings, and especially the humans here, the manushya, are there. Two types are there, because there are so many kinds of beings, but here I am telling about the two types of manushya, the Daivi and the Asura, that we have to understand. Okay. Anantaram, Alivelu Bagini.
आं भगिनि। प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च जनाना विदुरासुराः न शौचं नापि चाचारो न सत्यं तेषु विद्यते। प्रवृत्तिं प्रथमा एकवचनं च अव्ययं, निवृत्तिं प्रथमा एकवचनं च अव्ययं, जनाः। प्रवृत्तिं प्रथमाया द्वितीया भगिनि।
Pravrittim na viduhu. So dvitiya only.
द्वितीया विभक्ति, निवृत्तिम् अपि द्वितीया विभक्ति, च अव्ययं, जनाः प्रथमा बहुवचनं न अव्ययं, विदुरासुराः प्रथमा बहुवचनं न अव्ययं, शौचं द्वितीया एकवचनं न अव्ययम्, अपि अव्ययं, च अव्ययम्, आचारः प्रथमा एकवचनं न अव्ययं, सत्यं द्वितीया एकवचनं, तेषु सप्तमी बहुवचनं, विद्यते विद्धातु विद्यते प्रथमा एकवचनं, आत्मनेपदी कादु कर्मणि न,
vidyate na kartari only, atmanepadi
కదా, ఆత్మనేపది కర్తరి. పదార్థः ఆసురాः असुरगुणसम्पन्नाः प्रवृत्तिं प्रवर्तनं निवृत्तिं
प्रथमपुरुष बहुवचन वा
Bagini?
विद्यते
Vidyate ekvachanam only.
एकवचनं
एकवचनं प्रथमपुरुष एकवचनं. निवृत्तिं निवर्तनं विदुः जानन्ति, शौचं शुद्धिः, आचारः सदाचारः, सत्यं यथार्थकथनम्, अन्वयः आसुराः जनाः प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च न विदुः, तेषु शौचं न विद्यते, आचारः अपि न, सत्यम् अपि न. तात्पर्यम् असुरगुणसम्पन्नाः जनाः धर्मे प्रवृत्तिं न जानन्ति, अधर्मात् च निवृत्तिम्. कायिकं वाचिकं मानसिकं चेति यत् त्रिविधं शौचं तत् तेषु न सम्भवति, नापि च यथार्थवादित्वं माध्वमतम्. आसुरस्वभावजनाः विहिते प्रवृत्तिं निषिद्धे निवृत्तिं च न विदुः. व्याकरणम् असुराणाम् इमे आसुराः इदमर्थे अण्.
So here pravritti means what to do. Nivrittim, what not to do.
What not to do.
So, asuraha janaha na viduhu. So the people
They
with
don't know.
Asuri Sampath, they won't know what things to do to be on the right path and what things not to do to be in the to avoid being in the wrong path. They don't know. That is what we discussed even in the previous shloka. Ajnanam. Because if they really know, but by doing say for example the Vak Parushyam, many people will change the way they talk once they know that how much of sin they can accrue by just talking like that, talking hurtfully with others. Many people don't know that. So they keep talking very easily. They will be sarcastic in their speech. They will be very disrespectful. They will be very rude. All these, they think it won't matter. But once they know that even such things can develop that Asuri Svabhava in them, and because of that, they will suffer, then they will change. People who are looking to be on the right path. I am talking about people who want to be on the right path, but they don't know all these. People who don't want to be in the right path also are there. Since they don't even know about there is a right path, put them aside for now. But what I'm talking is, there are certain class of people who know that there is a right path, and if we take this path, we will attain moksha. They know. But even they don't know that this Vak Parushyam can put them on the wrong path, can push them off the right path. That they don't know. So again, Ajnanam, that is Ajnanam, that is Asuri Svabhava, Asuri Sampat. Though they want to be on the right path, because of their Ajnanam, they are developing these Asuri Svabhava and they are unable to be on the right path. So what to do, what not to do, they don't know. Many people don't know that. Surprisingly, many people don't know. Why? Because it is not taught to them. When we were younger in our schools, we had this moral science subject. But now none of the schools have that. Schools like Bhavans only, I think they still have that subject. But most of the modern schools, they don't even have that subject. They feel that it is waste of time. They are making the students do more math practice and more English and more science and this and that. Why? Because nobody is even thinking that teaching morals is important anymore. Surprisingly, people are becoming like that. The parents as well as the teachers. The whole education system has changed. So education means Vidyavan. According to our language, Vidyavan means not the science and math and this. The kind of Vidya that is needed for a person to be on the right path. That is Vidya. So when you say somebody is Vidyavantudu, it is not that he got 100 out of 100 in maths and 95 in science. No. Whether he knows how to behave, how not to behave, how to talk, what not to talk. Such kind of person is a Vidyavan. But who knows that these days? Nobody knows. Whether you are using your education for the right purpose. Today, what is happening? Everywhere, anywhere, everywhere, everything is commercialized. A doctor is working only for the bringing more and more bills to the hospital, especially with these corporate hospitals. An engineer, he is working only to get a contract. And to make more money in that contract, they are making the engineer sign off things even when they are not meeting the standards. The engineer, though he has an intention of doing good, he is helpless. Even the doctors, though they enter the field with a lot of ambition to do many things, once they enter the system, they are forced into becoming commercial. So, what is the purpose of the education that you are getting? Even that materialistic purpose is also not being served. Morally also they are not being served. So what is the point? So many times people are not even knowing. These days it is becoming so fast that without realizing, people are leading the life where they are hurting others knowingly and unknowingly. So they don't know what to do. What are the good things that they should do to be on the right path? They don't know. What are the bad things they should not do? That also they don't know. Such people are called asuraha. It need not always be intentional. Sometimes they are just not guided in the proper way from the childhood. So they are ending up like that. Na shaucham, na apicha acharaha, na satyam. Teshu vidyate. So they don't have shaucham. Ante purity. Purity of mind and body. Both they don't have. And then acharaha means the right conduct. Acharaha means like how you treat elders. Such things also these days children are not able to understand. They're treating everybody the same, right? Even their friend, how they talk to the friend, they are talking the same way to the teacher in school. But there are certain things that we have to follow. Like that is only called achara, right? Acharam. We say, no, this is our acharam. So that they don't know. Satyam, there is no Satyam only. People don't even know what Satyam is many times. So these asuraha swabhava janaha, these are the qualities that they carry. So Satyam means they think, or Asatyam means they think only if it is a very big crime or something like that. But even on day-to-day life also, there can be whatever they are speaking, Asatyam. That is also not good. That they don't think. They are thinking this is not a very big thing, so it is okay even if I lie. Say, for example, they want a leave at work for a function at home, but they don't tell that it is function at home. They will tell that they are not feeling well, I suddenly got a fever. That is asatyam only. So even such things, but nobody is considering such things as asatyam. They think it is okay. So like that, slowly, that line is disappearing between satyam and asatyam. So in the future generation, they will think that is how it should be. So if you want a leave, we have to tell this. So because since they are born, if they see people doing that, they will think that is how it should be done. They won't even realize that it is not the correct thing to do. So like that, mostly this is because of ajnanam, because nobody is being taught anymore. And without being taught, we cannot expect them to know. Back in those days, Gurukulams were there. The gurus used to teach. Parents used to leave everything in the hands of the guru, and the guru would tell, and the children would listen. But now even parents are not leaving everything to the guru. They are also interfering. You don't give too much of homework. You don't scold my child. You don't do this. You don't do that. What will the teachers do? So the teachers are also helpless. The schools are helpless. Parents are helpless. Everybody is helpless. And the children are becoming ajnanam.
Valueless.
Ajnanam is developing because of that only. So this has to change, and it can change only coming from a bigger authority like the government. So the government should make it mandatory again to bring back the moral science subject. You know, in that moral stories can be told like how they were told back when we were kids. You know, all those will matter. The Vemana Shatakam is there. That also in Telugu textbooks we used to study. I don't know if they are there anymore in the syllabus. Even if they are there, only five padyams they will put, and out of in the syllabus, in the choice they will leave. Everything has become very, preparing for an exam is also like that only. You want 60 marks, then you read these questions. If you want 80 marks, you read these also. Like that only. They are not teaching the subject only. They are preparing, especially the languages. Especially the languages, they are only teaching in exam point of view. But that is where there is so much of literature. That is where we have all these things that will teach them some value, because science and math is different. There only technical stuff will be there. Only in literature, only through these stories, they will be able to teach something about our culture and conduct and acharas and all. But that nobody, the last 2 months just before exams, they are giving important questions. You mug it up and write, and that's it. So where is the education going? How will the students, how will the children know what to do and what not to do if nobody is teaching them? That is where the problem is happening. That is the why we are seeing so much of difference in this generation kids, because they are not being taught. We cannot blame them. We have to blame the parent generation only. There are a few parents who want it, but there are more parents who want only the success, like getting a job,
Marks.
being more commercial. Only there they are focusing. So that is why it is happening. That effect we will know only after another generation. By then it is too late again. So there is nothing one individual can do, but the governments should get involved. If the government gets involved, obviously, because several years ago they made a regional language mandatory, Indian regional language, at least one they should take. Modi made a rule. Before that, everybody was taking only Spanish and French. Suddenly, that year, everybody was taking either Telugu or Hindi or Sanskrit. So they were asking, like, where can we get somebody who can teach us Telugu or Sanskrit? So I was like, what suddenly this year, what happened? Why are everybody running after Telugu and some kind of Indian language? So when I asked, then they said, no, they made it a rule. Modi made it a rule in the schools that at least one Indian language should be taken as either second language or third language. Otherwise, both second language, third language, they are taking only foreign languages, Spanish and French or German or something else, something else. We don't even know if they will ever use it also, but they are taking those. Mother tongue, they are
Because
not
they get marks, good marks in their subjects.
they will get
Just
good marks because very basics only will be covered. It is a foreign language.
Yeah.
It will be easy, and they are not learning a regional language, so they are unable to communicate with the grandparents. Only the parents are able to communicate. So even if the grandparents want to share some stories with the grandchildren, they are unable to. Their experiences, such things, if they want to share also, they cannot, because the children can't understand. So that connection is gone completely. So we won't know. This is the first generation, right? So we won't know until they grow up and again have their own kids, and that is when everybody will understand. But whether they will realize and come back or not, again, that is a different story. But what I'm trying to say is that is how people are losing the knowledge and the reason for ajnanam. And there is so much of all this is not just like superstitions or anything. This will give us the strength to go through difficult times.
Difficult times.
In
Yes.
Western countries, even submission of a project is so stressful for a person that they will start taking depression medication. 90% of the people there in high school will start taking depression medication. Why? Because they are unable to handle stress, even that kind of stress, like submitting a project on time. That is also very stressful for them. Why? Why is a human becoming so weak mentally? That is the biggest country that uses medication for anxiety. Why? Because that strength, mental strength, is not taught how to be mentally strong.
They develop the counseling centers business also. Pharmacy business. Yes.
Yes. So like this it is happening. But if we introduce Bhagavad Gita and what it tells, then children from at a very young age, like at least a few shlokas in every year, what kind of food to eat. There are shlokas based on that. So what happens if you eat tamasika food? What happens if you eat satvika food? Such things which are more practically applicable to their life at that point of time. Such shlokas, if they select and introduce in the moral science class, then I think, that will make an impact. No, we cannot change the whole world, but at least if 10 people change, that is still good, right? If 10 people are making use of it, that is still good than not doing anything at all. So like that here, so these are not like when this Asuri word is used, we need not imagine some big Rakshasa. It can be even amongst us because of this ajnanam. Because not unknowingly, we are also doing the same mistakes. Ashaucham, mentally not clean, always suspicious. If somebody does something good to you, you are thinking, why is he nice to me today? Maybe he wants to do some harm to me. Like that. There are such people also. That is also a health issue, actually. It is not that they are evil. That is, they are suffering from some kind of bad experience, which made them into that. So, for them to come out of that, again, the mental strength is needed. And it can arrive only by abhyasa. And what is that abhyasa? Having complete faith in the Paramatma. There is Paramatma in everybody. If we start believing that, then such fears will be gone. Of course, in the worst case scenario, there are always people who harm others, but at least these people are living in constant fear of everybody. That is not needed. For that, this abhyasa is needed, looking at positive in everything. In everybody, there is Paramatma. If he is behaving difficultly today, it is because of some unresolved issues within himself. So he is already suffering because of his issues. Let me also not get involved. Such kind of thinking, if we develop, slowly it will develop that mental strength in everybody. That other person also will feel at ease. So like that, the relationships also will become stronger. Okay. So next one.
धन्यवाद
Lakshmi Bhagini.
Yes, भगिनि. असत्यमप्रतिष्ठं ते जगदाहुरनीश्वरम् अपरस्परसम्भूतं किमन्यत् कामहैतुकम्. असत्यम् अप्रतिष्ठं ते जगत् आहुः अनीश्वरम् अपरस्परसम्भूतं किम् अन्यत् कामहेतुकम्. असत्यं द्वितीया एकवचनम्, अप्रतिष्ठं द्वितीया एकवचनं, ते प्रथमा बहुवचनं, जगत् द्वितीया एकवचनं, आहुः क्रियापदम्, अनीश्वरं द्वितीया एकवचनं, अपरस्परसम्भूतं द्वितीया एकवचनं, किं द्वितीया एकवचनं, अन्यत् द्वितीया एकवचनं, कामहेतुकं द्वितीया एकवचनम्. असत्यं पदार्थः असत्यं सत्यभूत वेदादिहीनम्, अप्रतिष्ठम् अनाधारम्, अनीश्वरं नियन्त्ररहितम्, आहुः वर्णयन्ति, अपरस्परसम्भूतं स्त्रीपुरुषमिथुनात् जातं, कामहेतुकं कामनिमित्तकम्. अन्वयः ते जगत् असत्यम् अप्रतिष्ठम् अनीश्वरम् आहुः अपरस्परसम्भूतं कामहेतुकम् अन्यत् किम् इति आहुः. तात्पर्यं ते जनाः वदन्ति अस्मिन् लोके सत्यार्थप्रतिपादकाः वेदपुराणादयः न प्रमाणानि. तारतम्ये स्वभावः एव कारणं न तु धर्माधर्मौ. लोकेऽस्मिन् न कोऽपि नियामकः अस्ति. स्त्रीपुरुषद्वन्द्वात् एव जगदिदं समुपन्नम् इति कामः एव जगतः उत्पत्तौ कारणम्. कारणान्तरं सर्वथा नास्ति. व्याकरणं न विद्यते सत्यं यस्मिन् तत् असत्यं बहुव्रीहिः. न विद्यते प्रतिष्ठा यस्मिन् तत् अप्रतिष्ठं बहुव्रीहि न विद्यते ईश्वरः यस्मिन् तत् अनीश्वरं बहुव्रीहि अपरः च परः च अपरस्परौ द्वन्द्वः अपरस्पराभ्यां सम्भूतम् अपरस्परसम्भूतं तृतीया तत्पुरुषः.
So here asatyam, apratishtam, te jagat ahuhu, te ahuhu. Te means here asuraha. What do they say? Jagat. This jagat is asatyam. This is apratishtam. That is what they say. So this world is not true. Like how you are saying, like how the Paramatma exists, all that is not true. And apratishtam, it has no base. Like there is a Purusha and Prakriti and all that, whatever you are saying, there is no such basis to this world. Anishwaram, there is no Ishvara, there is no that one supreme Paramatma that you are talking about, there is no such thing. Aparaspara sambhutam, this world is created only by the union of a man and a woman. That is the only thing that is giving birth to people. Kim anyat kama haitukam. There is nothing else other than the desire. And because of that desire between man and a woman, this world is running. That's all. There is no previous life, or there is no another life, or there is no moksha. There is nothing like that. This just it came out of nowhere. This is not real. That is why they think that this is only one life to live. You enjoy. That is the theory of the Charvakas. Charuvak means beautiful speech. Means it is very nice to listen to it. That there is no karma. There is no karma siddhantam. No, there is no paramatma. There is no papam or punyam. So that is all good for that sounds very good for people who cannot control their manas. Why? Because if the karma siddhantam is there, you have to learn to control your manas without doing the wrong things, without giving in to the temptation, right? And that controlling of the manas is not a simple thing. It is very difficult. So they tend to become charvakas. Why? Because this theory seems easy to put up with. Okay, I don't have to worry about anything. I can do whatever I want. I won't get any sin. I don't mind even if I don't get any punyam. I will just enjoy my life because this is only one life. Who knows? Who did you see the previous life? Did you see? Are you going to see the next life? No. So all whatever you are saying is not true. It is asatyam, apratishtam. There is no basis to that. And there is no Paramatma like how you are saying. How can Paramatma be when there is so much of inequality? That also I have heard many people say. If God is really there, why will he make people suffer? So it is, but what they don't understand is it is not God who is making them suffer, right? So like that. So these are charvakas. There is like how Buddhists and Jainists and Nayayikas, like that, Charuvakas also were a group of people who followed this theory, who followed this teaching. And they used to just enjoy their life. At least the Buddhists and the Jainists, they had some kind of principles, which are very close to our principles also. And the Jains actually even accepted the existence of Vedas. The Buddhists didn't, but the Jainas will do. Because their theory also a little similar, but again it is a little different also. But Charvakas are totally different. They are completely into materialistic world. So that is how they would say. So such people, the Charvakas, can be considered as Asuraha. Why? Because they have Ajnanam. What kind of Ajnanam? Ajnanam because they are unable to understand the Paramatma Tattva Jnanam. That way they are Ajnanis. Okay. Anantaram, we'll stop here.
Okay, Bhagini.
Hmm.
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः नमस्कार भगिनी धन्यवादः सर्वेभ्यः नमस्कारः धन्यवादः शुभरात्रि
शुभरात्रि भगिनी धन्यवादः सर्वेभ्यः
धन्यवादः भगिनी
धन्यवादः
थैंक यू सो मच